Hey guys, it's your boy Waltz here. I'm going to show you how to put the inch numbers on the ruler. So I'm going to go open up my sketch down here in the history bar and zoom in here. And first thing I'm going to do is put what we call legend on here, which tells you what unit we're using. So I'm going to create a text item, create text, and just a normal one. And you can just kind of click down here. I'm going to go down here right above the 1/4 inch line and just click and make a little box. And what I'm going to type in there is lowercase in. You can use whatever font you want. Simple fonts are going to engrave better, so I'm just going to stick with Arial. But you can play around with it, have fun with it. Um, and we want to do the height of the text. The height of the text is going to be 0.15. Again, you could play around with this, but this is what I found works best. And the one thing we want to do is we want to do the alignment up here. And so I'm going to click align. I'm going to do align center, and then I'm going to do align top. And what that's going to do is let me anchor the top middle of the the text to a particular point. I'm going to hit OK, and there's my text. So my text is out here. It can float around. What I want to do is constrain it. And so I'm going to use a vertical and horizontal constraint. I'm going to do a horizontal constraint. I'm going to click the midpoint of the top, and I'm going to click this 1 inch line over here. Okay, so now those are even. Basically, the top of this letter I is right at the top point of that line. And then I'm going to do another constraint with that same middle top point and this 1/4 inch line. So that text would be centered right over the 1/4 inch line. So that text is now fully constrained. I know it's still blue, but that's just how text is, I think. And we're good to go. So next one we're going to do 1 inch. So I'm going to do create text. I'm going to go over here somewhere near the 1 inch line, but not quite touching it. And I'm just going to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to draw a little box here. I'm going to put 1 for my text. 0.15 is my text height. And I want, this time I'm going to do, what am I going to do here? What's going to be the easiest way? Let's do right top. So we got right here and we got top here. And then that's this point on the text. What we're going to do is do a constraint. We're going to do a horizontal constraint with that top right corner of the text and the top of the 1 inch line. Boom. And then this top right corner, we're going to do a constraint with this. And we're going to use this line right here. This is the 15/16 line. And that will put it directly above that line. So it just leaves a little bit of room between the 1 and the line there. And then we're good to go. And so that's pretty much what you keep doing. You could play around with the font if you want. You could try, I think you have to select the text. You double click on the text, so you could select it. You could try bold. Bold makes it a little fatter. You could play around with these other fonts. I wouldn't go with anything too weird like this Algerian. Some of these things, the laser will have trouble cutting them. Basically, really simple, blocky fonts are going to be better. Arial Black is nice. Um, Anyways, you can play around with it. I'm just going to stick with Arial to keep it simple. But once you edit these, once you create these, you can change the font if you want to play with that. Anyways, I'm just going to keep going. I'll do the rest of the inches here really fast. You can copy the original one. So I could click on this one, do Control C as in Charlie, and then Control V as in Victor. And it's going to give me a new one. And I can just drag it over to where I want. It's kind of nice. And if I want to be really precise, I could just say X distance is 1. And you can see what it does is moves it exactly 1 inch over. You'll notice it doesn't have the horizontal and vertical constraints. You can add those pretty quickly like that. Remember, use that last 16th line. And then, of course, there's one other thing I need to change, right? It's not supposed to be a 1. It's supposed to be a 2. All right. And so that's pretty much what we do here. We're just going to keep copying these, pasting. It's Control C, Control V is the quickest way to do it. Drag it over, set the distance to 1 to get it in the exact spot. I hit enter, and then I can just use my horizontal and my vertical constraints. change the number, 3, and keep going. It's a little boring, but you can get it done. Fine. Oops. I don't know. I screwed up something there on my copy. We'll drag it over here, horizontal, and then vertical there. Hit escape, double click it, edit the text, 4, boom. That's how I roll. Hit escape, select it, control C as in Charlie, control V as in Victor, X distance 1. There we go, now it worked. Hit OK. Do your constraints horizontal and vertical. Double click the number, change it to a 5. And hey, we're almost done. Control C, Control V. Now this time, if we go over here, we kind of get to the edge of this. This may be a little problematic. This one, I think what I'm going to do is go not quite as far. I'm going to go 0.875 for my distance. The problem is if you put this too close to the edge here, you end up running into the edge. When the laser cuts this, you'll see it doesn't quite cut it. Let's see, 0.1. I guess 1 isn't bad. Let's try it. We'll just do 1. What the heck? You can do whatever you want here. If you have trouble, you can fix it. Change that to a 6. Okay, so then I'm going to double click my mouse wheel, hide my sketch palette, and just look at it and make sure it looks right. Always good to look at things when you're done and make sure that it's all good. And it does look all good. I'm going to finish the sketch so I can really see what's going on. There's my numbers. I'm going to hit save, and we're all good. All right, see you guys on the next video, which will show you how to do the millimeter lines.